Hi guys, this is Carrie and we're at the Pubs coming at you live. Thank you for watching in advance, and this is another sensing the senses activity for breathing patterns. With that being said, in the past I've done an activity tasting the taste buds because one of the symptoms of COVID-19 is that it loses our senses in terms of our taste or smell or sight or touch and feel. In terms of breathing patterns, it can make them more heavier, shaky, faster, and as people, when we're going through epidemics or we don't know the certain outcome of situations, it's easy to trick ourselves. Also, in terms of these symptoms, they are correlating and relatable to other illnesses and diseases such as the flu, the cold, asthma. Therefore, as a person, I feel it's important to identify your own norm within that spectrum. For example, I breathe very lightly, so if I'm not panicked, if I'm not flushed, or there isn't something going on, I can barely hear myself breathe. So it's a good thing to know. So with the additional side, there's some other correlation with diseasing illnesses that share these symptoms, some additional information on breathing patterns and exercises, as well as exercises that people can use to identify within themselves before they leave their house or with the help of others. And then there's a technique on how to identify your own breathing pattern. With that being said, these symptoms are still very real and very possible. So just because it correlates with this one doesn't mean that it may not be real for you. But in terms of hysteria, it's important to rely on what one may know as a norm rather than panic and sometimes make it worse. And also, hopefully it just creates more self-awareness within our interactions, or perhaps when we're involved in a bad situation or in front of a bad situation, to learn how to create more balance within ourselves as people. So I hope you guys can take that with you. These are just some diseases and illnesses that correlate to the symptoms of COVID-19. This is some steps and some additional notes as to how one can identify their own breathing pattern. Just some terminology for you guys, being that there's a lot of information out there about breathing patterns. Is the pacemaker is the internal, and then the receptors are the external things that affect that. So our pacemaker is what makes the beats within our breath, how fast they go, and then the receptors are the things that can affect that. So for example, our walking conditions, our house environment, our genetic or biological background are all the receptors that can affect that pacemaker either positively or negatively. These are 6 breathing patterns that are common in the everyday human being and everyday life that are both good to know and good to adjust in order to breathe more properly and have more control over one's breathing. This slide is about current information that's being found out or that I did from scholarly resources and hands-on knowledge in terms of this epidemic that is going on. With all that being said, thank you for watching, guys. Extremely appreciated, and feel welcome to follow any links if you are interested to see what's happening, what's going to happen, and hopefully a dead session very soon to further discuss alternate solutions, recommendations, and solutions for slowly opening back up our economy and capital. Have a great day. Be safe.
From the art can be solar bought. I wake up and see the sun shining on. Know what's at stake. It's more than